Good morning, class.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Fine, ma'am.
So today we are in the wife beater. No, I'm going to summarize it, explain it. So let's see. It's a definition, essay, and it's wife beater. Are you informed about physical class?
No, ma'am.
No. I think it will start very soon now, no? I think so. So we are going to summarize it. Okay. So now, what about the wife beater then? Before we read, somehow you have presented to, and we have tried to know about it. Wife beater, what it has said, it is not over here. The meaning of wife beater is different. Though the meaning is different, symbolically, it is trying to say what comes in our mind. No? So, what is in wife beater? The essay entitled as the wife beater is written by Gayle Rosen Wald Smith. Written by Gayle Rosen Wald Smith and published in the Philadelphia Inquirer on July 2nd, 2001. Within the article, the argument that the author puts forth has many of the characteristics of an argument of definition defining the term wife beater. As wife beater is defined, both a man who is physically abusive towards his wife, yes, who thinks wives are just a material at their home. This thing the writer wants to abide from here. And a popular, it is a popular wife beater is a popular white-ribbed undergarment. It is a popular one, yes, undergarment's name, white-ribbed undergarment. The author goes on to explain that the undergarment rose to cultural significance. हाम्रो सांस्कृतिक महत्व छ यसको. In the 1950s, in the motion picture, a streetcar motion picture केमा राखियो? A streetcar named Desire, and has occupied a space in the American consciousness ever since. American consciousness ma अहिलेसम्म, wherever they have thought it and they have got it, it has occupied a space. ठाउँ छ यसको. In American consciousness ever since. Wife beaters are a hot commodity with both men and women, and have received special treatment by fashion icons such as dolls and Gabbana to be acceptable clothing under formal and business wear in professional environments. In all regard, they are an accepted and revered piece of clothing with a long history of popularity. अब स्यान्डोको हिस्ट्री त छ नि हैन कहिलेदेखि. It is very popular. त्यसको रिप्लेसमा अरु कुनै लुगै छैन वास्तवमा. Yet, why do they share the name with the hated and reprehensible section of the society? समाजमा ओमनलाई यस्तो डोमिनेट गरिन्छ भने त्यही नामबाट किन यो गरियो त? किन यस्तो स्यान्डोहरु हैन अन्डरगार्मेन्ट्सहरुको नाम राखियो त भन्दा, to be the writer very popular, and in a way these undergarments are worn by the men केटा मान्छेले लगाउने अन्डरगार्मेन्ट हो र उनीहरूले लगाएको अन्डरगार्मेन्टले के सिम्बलाइज गर्ने भयो वुमन्स आर अलवेज अन्डर देम भन्न खोजेको पनि हो सो in all regards they are an accepted and a reversed piece of clothing with a long history of popularity yet why do they share a name with a hated and reprehensible section of the society. This is the main question posted in article means this essay along with the notion that having such an offensive name is lessening the value of an otherwise flattering piece of clothes. A piece of cloth which is flat. No? This is used over here. Our essay it goes on to examine the origin of the name wife beater. कहाँबाट सुरु भयो त wife beater name? Why it has been attributed to a type of undershirt? यसलाई किन undershirt को रूपमा युज गरियो? The most common explanation is that men who are likely to beat their wives. हो जसले श्रीमती पिट्छ. Men who are likely to beat their wives frequently wear this type of clothing. So it was named after them. The author goes into deeper detail on the subject, citing that the term may have risen from the stereotype of the lower class Midwestern male wearing this type of shirt during the act of beating his wife. During the act of beating his wife, श्रीमती पिट्ने बेलामा चाहिँ यस्ता खालका ड्रेस लगाइन्छ भनेर यसलाई भनियो पनि. So another explanation is that the term was attributed to the shirt in the 1990s by gang and gay subcultures as well as rap music. दुवैमा युज गरियो. The author is clearly of the opinion that an article of clothing that garners such respect and popularity should be known by a respectable name, not one with the potential to offend a section of population. So after that, as it was used as a wife beater for the big person, adult one, and junior shirt was also in market, and it was termed as little wife beater. Little wife beater भनेको के त्यो सानोहरुलाई पनि उत्तिकै स्ट्रङ बनाउन खोजेको. Negative, it has a negative effect in our society. गलत इफेक्ट त ल्यायो नि यसले. Yes, who are to beat the wife? Husbands are to beat the wife. हस्बेन्डले श्रीमानहरुले श्रीमती पिट्छन् भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ यसले गर्यो. So still we are very few है. Let's go to the exercise अनि फेरि एकचोटी समराइज गरौँला भोलिको क्लासमा. आज चाहिँ एक्सरसाइज तिर जाऊँ ल, तपाईहरुलाई गर्नमा सजिलो हुन्छ. May I go?
Yes, ma'am.
Why disturbed by the name wife beater? Wife beater बाट किन डिस्टर्ब भएको होला? Because it reminds our writer as a victim in domestic violence situation. हैन, डोमेस्टिक भाइलेन्स अवस्थामा कस्तो कुराहरु भइराछ, कस्तो कुरा हामीले विक्टिमाइज गरिराछौं, त्यो रियालिटी पर्न गयो. This is why. In paragraph 3, Smith says the name is the issue. नाम नै हो सबभन्दा ठूलो कारण भनेछ उनले. In paragraph 11, she says it is not just the name that worries me. नामले मात्र मलाई पीर बनाएको होइन. What does she mean by each statement? Does she contradict herself? हो, उनले भन्न खोजेको के हो त? के हो त? She says, I don't think मेरो एनालाइसिसमा चाहिँ she is not contradicting herself. हैन, name is the issue भनेको छ पहिला. अनि 11 मा गएर is not just the name that worries me. हो, नामले मात्र वरि गराएन भन्नु खोजेको. यसले कन्ट्राडिक्ट त ल्याएन. What I think is about the sort. Yes, about the sort. Why the name is kept for that? राखे अरु कुनै राखेको भएदेखि it will be far better. What relationship does Smith see between the name of sleeveless undershirt and the prevalence of family violence? Does he believe a casual connection? Does her exist? If so, what is the cause and which is the effect? यस्तो हुन सक्छ यस घरमा त्यो समस्या आउन सक्छ स्लीवलेस undershirt र prevalence of family violence दुवै छ so she believes it does exist. She overreacts and takes the situation of a simple t-shirt into a domestic violence situation. Simple t-shirt like domestic violence situation में राखिने उनले. In paragraph 12, Smith acknowledges that the shirt can make both men and women look sexier. Does this remark in any way undercut her credibility or argument? Explain. In paragraph 12, Smith acknowledges that the shirt can make both men and women look sexier. Does this remark in any way undercut her credibility or argument? Yes, she is worried about the t-shirt. Then says they make people, these sandals, these undergarments makes people attractive and reminds them to be a man. And she creates imaginary in the reader's head that contracts her idea that the shirt is bad. How, according to Smith, does calling a shirt a wife beater teach women the wrong thing about men? Calling a shirt को नाम नै wife beater राख्नु चाहिँ it teach women the wrong thing about men. केटा मान्छेको बारेमा गलत कुरा सिकाउँछ भन्ने कुरा कसरी थाहा भयो त? The woman think the t-shirt make men more attractive instead of the stereotypical wife beater idea behind them. It's a very easy one. How does, according to Smith, does calling a shirt a wife beater teach women wrong thing about men? केटा मान्छेको बारेमा wrong thing किन stereotypical feeling जुन छ हाम्रो त्यसलाई नै use गरे यसले. Now, purpose and audience. How do you think Smith expect her audience to react to her opening statement? Opening statement में किन react? हामीले पनि title सुन्दा it was very curious one to us. No, it was very different. We think that it is not what we were thinking. पछि जाँदा त हामीले सोचेको जस्तो रहेन. That everyone was it, but it is presented in different way. Why do you think Smith wrote this essay? Does she hope to change the name of the t-shirt, or does she seem to have a more ambitious purpose? उनलाई टी-शर्ट नाम परिवर्तन गर्दै थियो जस्तो थियो कि उनले चाहिँ आफ्नो एम्बिसियस फिलिङ राखिरहेछन् के गरिरहेछन् यसमा The name of the shirt must be changed. उनले भन्न खोजेको त्यति हो किन वाइफ बिटर भन्ने नाम सुटेबल भएन त्यो चाहिँ पहिला चेन्ज गर्नु पर्यो भन्ने चाहिँ उनको पहिलो कन्टेक्स्ट फिलिङ हो Twice in her essay, Smith mentions a group she calls wearers under 25. Monica, wearers under 25. Does she seem to direct her remark at these young adults or at older readers, at wearers of the sort or at a more general audience? She directs her statement at all wearers. सबै टी-शर्ट लगाउनेहरूलाई भनिरहेको छिन् but makes it known people under 25 don't mind as much because they are not thinking about what white Peter really mean, the same as someone who is older. Restate Smith thesis in your one word. Style and structure. Why do you think Smith begin her essay by explaining the popularity of sleeveless undershirts? Is this an effective opening strategy? Why do you think Smith begin her essay by explaining the popularity of sleeveless undershirts? Is this an effective opening strategy? Opening strategy It is effective opening, yes. सबैजना curious त भयो नि. No, we all were curious about it. So it is effective opening strategy. It shows already how popular these shirts are and why it's a big deal that virtually everyone knows it as wife beater. Number 2, paragraph 7. In paragraph 7, Smith produces a formal definition from the Oxford Dictionary. Why does he include this definition when he has already defined her term? What, if anything, does the formal definition add? Our formal definition like के add गर्छ The formal definition adds के add गर्छ? It is even officially known as wife beater. त्यो टी-सर्ट sorry undershirt को नाम नै wife beater होला भन्ने भयो त्यो स्ट्यान्डर्ड जुन हामीले चिन्छौं हैन त्यसको नामै wife beater हुन सक्छ. So it may create a problem over there. Where does Smith present information on the history of wife beater? Why does he include this kind of information? Can I see see here. Page number 265 go second paragraph. In article in the style section of the New York Times, Jesse Selward, principal editor of Oxford English Dictionaries, American Offices, the Association of the Undershirt, and the term wife beater arose in 1997 from various sources, including gay and gang subcultures and references. Oh, yeah, the history. Standard listening. Where? So next question is, define each of the following terms or following words as it is used in the collection. Separate the meaning define garne. Okay, number 2. In paragraph 12. In paragraph 12, Smith says there has to be a better term. Can you think of a better term? One that does not suggest violence for the sort Smith described. Yes, let's describe it. Visit several different internet sites, for example, dictionary.com and Merriam Webster online at mw.com and compare their definition of the term wife beater. How are these definitions alike? How are they different? Please analyze it. Journal entry. Do you agree with Smith that the casual use of the term wife beater is dangerous? Or do you think she is exaggerating the problem? Wife beater भन्ने term dangerous हो भन्न खोजेको हो कि she is exaggerating the problem. समस्या छ ठुलो बनाइदिएको हो. Write it yourself. To write a workshop. Quoting source, relying primarily on the description and exemplification, define an article of clothing that is essential to your wardrobe. Begin by checking internet site of fashion history, such as fashionera.com, to learn the item's history and the origin of its name. If you use information from a site in your essay, be sure to cite your source and to include a worksite. So you should not do this number 1, okay? Now let's see number 2, or writing workshop number 2. Using comparison and contrast to structure your essay, define a particular item of clothing mean to you. कुनै कपडालाई तपाई पनि define गर्नुस् and what it means to one of your parents. हो तपाईको पेरेन्ट्सले यसलाई कुन तरिकाले लिनुहुन्छ? पार्टीमा जाने सुट हैन अथवा वान पिस गाउन लेंगा बोइजहरुको हेर्ने हो भने शूज प्यान्ट एन्ड ड्रेस हैन सुट और दौरा सुरुवाल टोपी राइट एनीवन एउटा कुनैले सिम्बल गर्नुस् डु इट ओके. Do members of your religious or ethnic group wear an item of clothing that is not well known to others? थाहा भएको लुगा कसरी लगाउँछन्? Or not well understood by them. Define the article of clothing and explain its significance and its history in terms that outsiders can understand. यो गर्नु पर्दैन, 2 चाहिँ गर्नुहोस्. राइटिङ वर्कसपको नम्बर 2. Combining patterns. Do you think Smith should have spent more time in say on developing the cause and effect relationship, if any, between the wife beater and family violence? What additional information would she have to provide? Or additional information? Think it and write it. So class, I will see you in detail tomorrow. What Beater-ले 10 मिनेट अब डिटेलमा डिस्कस गर्छु म र हाम्रो यो युनिटलाई यो डेफिनेसन एसेहरू पनि हामीले सकिन्छ है. डेफिनेसन एसेमा हामीले के पढ्यौं? I want a wife and wife beater. And after this, अब हामीले पढ्ने argumentation हो. Can you see what argumentation means? Yeah. Argumentation. What means argumentation? What is argumentation? Argumentation is भोलि नै सुरु गर्छौं. Wife beater लङमा आउँदैन तपाईलाई. Once again I will revise you and we will read about argumentation and we will learn how to write the argumentation essays. Essayमा गएर we will read market मासुको बजार भनेर and we will let them drink. दुईटा छ, यो दुईटा we will read from here. अब हामीले दुईटा एसे पढेपछि हाम्रो एसे पनि सकिन्छ. बुझ्नुभयो? हामी पार्ट 3 तिर जान्छौँ. त्याग दिनुस् है. अब दुईटा एसे पढ्छौँ अनि एसे पनि सकिन्छ. We will go for part 3. अब हामी हाम्रो 80% लेसन चाहिँ सकिन्छ. 20% लेसन मात्र बाँकी छ. यसमा पनि हामी अब फिजिकल क्लास सुरु हुँदा सायद अब सुरु हुन्छ. There will be detail. मलाई लाग्छ अब चाँडै सुरु होला सायद. के छ क्लास सके तपाईहरुको? क्लास होला किन होला?
हजुर म्याम.
अगाडि हो. सबैको क्लास भन्दा अगाडि हो.
कसको म्याम? केशव सरको फर्स्टमै हो म्याम.
ए सरले के कुरा गर्नुभयो फिजिकल क्लासको?
के गर्नु भन् म्याम?
मलाई चाहिँ अब चाँडै हुन्छ है जस्तो लाग्छ. अन्त खोलिरा भएर खुल्ने कुरा भएको भएर I think so. Okay, so if you have any problem with wife beater, let's discuss it. Okay, so understand? Class, wife beater. Do you have any problem with wife beater? Do you have any problem with wife beater, class?
No, ma'am.
Okay, class, then we will meet tomorrow. Thank you, class. And do you exercise? These are important. Please do exercise and stay, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Exercise. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.